We're live. Just the choppy chop. I don't know what's up with the internet.
The really outside rhythmic jazz timings. We had some
really
wow. What key signature was that?
We got all those instruments to play such a weird meter at the exact.
I thought that was part of it. I was like, I'm digging this. I don't understand it, but I like it.
What's funny is that it's already a weird meter. So then when it starts messing up, you're like, is it on purpose?
All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Soundbooth Theater Live.
Hey!
Yeah, we got a big one today. Like, not just a lot of content, but like there's all these people in the green room doing drugs. And I'm a little bit scared.
They're all getting loaded.
It's gonna be
but it's entertainment.
Yeah. But you gotta learn how to hang out with those types of people when you're in this industry. So I'm getting used to it. All right. Yeah, so what do we got? What do we got planned for the show? But after this, we have Anti-Hero Chronicles by Joe DeProfio. We have after that we have a little discussion about Miss Space Buns because her episode 2 is coming out next week. Finally. Yeah, how long has it been now? Is it 6 months since the first episode?
I don't know.
Maybe. I was October 30th. So
that's a while.
Yeah, that's 6 months, I think.
6 months? That is ridiculous.
Yeah, so maybe that's 7. I don't know. But it's too many. But we finally got it's almost done. We're like rushing to get it done. The song is done and it's insane. Annie is a genius. She wrote it.
Oh, why the crowd is so shocked that I'm a genius. Thank you. Thanks, Ahmed.
I was just joking with you. We have just the sound effects, I think, are placed. They just need to be polished up, and we'll be sending it out the door tomorrow. So it will be ready for you guys to consume by next Thursday.
You should get it.
I'm so excited.
So you should pick up.
It's very affordable.
Episode 1. It's very affordable right now. And let's see. So next Thursday, episode 2 is coming, and then every month after that, we're going to have another episode until we have a 7-episode season. So very, very excited for our first Soundbooth Theater original to become a larger piece of work. Let's see. After our Space Buns story hour here, then we're moving on to our troll poll request, which is Dustin Tigner's "Oh shit, I fucking hate spiders." Oh my god, I can't believe you guys voted that in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's a book called "Oh shit, I fucking hate spiders." Arachnomancer. Yes, please, and thank you. That's our request for tonight. And then, last but not least, Gary's Games with another AI dungeon because we just absolutely loved playing that last time.
We did.
We are going to try different sex toys this time, but it will be just as fun, I promise. So
it'll definitely include butt plugs.
Okay, all right, we'll have butt plugs again. Justin, what do we have?
Interesting ways.
What do we have to lose?
Oh,
you would never get.
Probably butt plugs if we have too many.
We have too many butt plugs. We all have our separate collections, and there's always a chance that when we lend them out, we won't get them back.
I'm so excited Butt Plug Con is happening this year.
I was
really worried that it wasn't.
I did miss it last year.
Yeah.
ButtCon.
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 Is it actually a ButtCon?
I
There
hope
is
there
now.
is. We should start it if there isn't.
This open
I'm
market.
so there.
Open market. Okay, so
A big old hello to everybody in
we are
our
not joking
audience.
about the oh shit, I fucking hate spiders.
Is it actually the name of the
That
book?
is the title
Yeah.
of the book.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
there aren't enough book names with that
Yeah.
swear.
Yeah.
I mean, you know exactly what it's about now. This guy
Yeah.
really fucking hates spiders.
Yeah. It's very, very transparent. Thank you for telling us what is in.
I wonder what it's about.
Okay,
It's
so we
probably
do
a
have-
cookbook.
we do have news, and we can actually pull out the newsletter this time, like for real. For real this time.
For reals.
So
For truths?
For the truth,
keeps.
indeed. Okay, so Justin, lay it on us. What's
Yes.
our news?
Our news. Well, you know what? I'm just going to pull up the newsletter
Yeah.
because
Perfect.
why not? Let me just do this. I'm going to go into my email.
Email.
And
That
I'm
is
gonna
a new
go
thing
to
that we just discovered recently.
My
Stand for
oh my
excellent
god,
mail.
where is it? Where is it? I'm not finding it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh wait, here it is.
I want you
found
to
it.
read the advertisement that you read last week, just for fun.
The
The advertisement that what did I
advertisement.
read 2 weeks ago?
It was in
Oh,
what was it? What
yeah.
was it called?
I don't
What was it
know.
called? I'm blanking.
Are you talking about when we
I
did the inflatable lawyer?
No.
Oh, the commercial for that
Commercial.
was in American Fork.
Yeah,
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the wax
yeah.
one.
the waxing
Yeah.
one, the male waxing one.
Waxing for men. Wax like a man.
Yeah.
Pleasant
we do need to
Grove.
start reading advertisements
That's
on
good.
Soundbooth Theater
You
Live.
should.
I think
Wax man.
Yeah, we should. Well, I can do it like Waxman. New to Soundbooth Theater. Our newsletter dated April 29th, 2021 features our new Audible releases, including
Look at that breath control.
And Gina Online 3 Vials and Tribulations by S.L. Rowland and Carl's Doomsday Scenario, Dungeon Crawler Carl, Book 2 by Matt Dinneman, narrated by Jeff Hayes.
Hell.
Very exciting couple titles.
That's right.
Definitely go take your credits to the Audible store.
Those DCC 2 has only been out for a week. It's been selling like crazy. DCC 3.
Can I get can I take my Audible credit to the Audible store and buy myself a Carl's Doomsday Scenario, please?
You're better, little boy.
Thanks,
Goodbye.
Mommy!
Stop talking to my son, you weirdo. Yes, you
Okay.
may.
That'll be a
Back
movie
to
where
that
mommy
news.
says no, and then he brings it back and is like, "Listen to it, mommy." It's converted.
Speaking of Dungeon Crawler Carl, Dungeon Crawler Carl 3 is being submitted May 5th. So really, it's just polishing. And then it's out the door, guys, and it's really close to number 2. So I'm really happy that we're getting it out to you so quick.
Nice.
And
I
we
saw
have
something special about that on the Facebook page.
You did. We have the critical drinker on that book.
Critical
So anyone
drinker.
who doesn't know, I mean, you're here on YouTube. There's a chance that you already know who the critical drinker is. He's a movie critic. He's got upwards of 700,000 subscribers. He's really big, and he speaks as if he's a drunk Scotsman. And he is a Scotsman, but he's just not drunk all the time. I think. Anyway, he played himself, playing as Vernon, the train conductor on Dungeon Crawler Carl 3. So that's just a fun little bonus for you guys. And yeah, what else we got?
We got Malcontents and Tale of Necessary Evil, one of our Wendigo Tales series that is available on our SBT platform. You can find that there. And currently we have a 20% off sale going on right now.
Yeah.
Right. If you can use a code at checkout on any full-length audiobook or audio deep dive on our site, and the code is, listen for the code, it's Make I Train. Make I train. That is the code. I don't know why.
Make I train.
That doesn't even make sense grammatically, but
I
make I train
Make I
is what
train?
you could put in. Yeah.
As in like
Make-
I as in I or I as in I?
I is in the
I think
letter
it should
I.
be me. Make me train. You know,
Make
it's
me
about,
train, mommy.
Make me train.
Yeah.
We need a montage right now where I learn kung fu.
Actually, if you want to know the real spelling of the code, then you got to check your inbox. You got to look at our last newsletter if you're subscribed. And if you're not subscribed, you can subscribe now and an email will go directly to you telling you what the code is. It's pretty easy.
That's
So-
the easiest route.
As easy as
It
it
is
goes.
the easiest route. Or you can try and figure out how to spell make I train.
Yes.
All right. Is that let's see. All right, so yes, Malcontents, that is the sixth book, the sixth short story of Tales of Necessary Evil. Books story 7 is coming out next week on Thursday. That one is narrated by Andy Parsnow. So please don't miss that at the very least.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that series is almost over. So if you haven't checked it out yet, guys, go. There's 6 episodes now. There's gonna be 7. And then we're gonna take
Mommy.
What do you want, darling?
Can I also stop at the Soundbooth Theater store and buy myself a Malcontents by John Leifhuser?
Did you take your meds?
Did you eat your peas?
All right. Well, you heard it here. Don't listen to Soundbooth Theater without taking your meds. Okay. All right. Awesome. So I think that's all of our news for now. I think that's all.
That's
of
the
it.
news.
That's
Oh,
the news.
wait, here's one. Soundbooth Theater Live is live tonight at
Right,
8 p.m.
yes, guys, tune in to Soundbooth
EST.
Theater Live. It's happening like 10 minutes ago. So make sure to go back in time,
Please.
start it there. We had a really cool intro. So
Really great
Okay.
intro. Great news segment.
Very out there
Um,
kind of intro.
Yeah.
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 You guys ready for some anti-hero Chronicles?
I was born ready.
Let's
I'm
do
the
this
anti-hero.
thing.
Let's give these people what they
I feel
came
like-
here for.
Oh, I'm sorry. One more piece of news. We're on Twitch now. We are streaming to Twitch right now.
What?
So
We're on
there's like 3 places to watch us. You can watch us in the Facebook group. You can watch us here on, well, I can say here on YouTube, but we're here on everything, right? So we want YouTube, Facebook
Moving
group,
up in the
or
world.
Twitch.
Moving up in the
Twitch.tv/
world.
Soundbooth Theater Live, I believe.
Check out our MySpace page for more information.
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
that sounded like a commercial for a bar on the
For
radio.
a bar?
For like a venue.
Yeah, they're just like
Yeah.
beer and nuts. Check our MySpace page for daily updates.
Yeah. The Legion. It's the Legion.
All right, now we can get on to Anti-Hero Chronicles. Do we have a theme for it? Do we have music for this one?
Anti-hero
Dun-dun-dun.
Chronicles.
Mm,
We're super serious and sexy people.
serious. It's anti-hero, not anti-hero.
What is happening right now?
Song.
Theme music.
Don't make fun of us.
Professional
Famous
music
music.
creation, Annie.
I'm
My
sorry,
goodness.
guys.
Just
As
let
the
the music
professional
flow out of
composer,
you.
I cannot handle.
I just
this.
create all the time.
It's called
I'm always
improv,
creating.
Annie.
All right.
Jeez. Do you even act?
You
Do
don't
you even act, bro?
don't understand us, Annie, and
I'm just-
that's why
I
we're in the
wanna do
hospital.
play.
right now.
I just want to do the play.
That's
I
why
agree. Let's do the play. She's right. She's right, guys.
you're all
She's
the
right.
machines. We're in the hospital because of your
Fine.
attitude.
We got a play to do.
Hospital. We need to be in the hospital. Are the hospital sounds like to come?
Oh, and
Oh,
we got
wow.
Will. Will Watt is joining
Will.
us.
Can you hear the
He's
siren in the
mysterious.
background? Listen to the
At
siren.
the hospital.
Yeah, we're gonna pretend that
Feel
it's
New York ambience.
It is, right? Like, it's the real deal. Like, cancel the Foley effect. Like, I got you.
Okay.
Director Viskel had arrived what seemed like moments after Panzer radioed that the rookie was awake. As soon as she'd told the director that the aspiring hero had lawyered up, the shouting started.
I told you to get that damn mask off and find out who that kid is, not to fiddle fuck around and let him call for help.
Panzer was used to these kinds of outbursts.
Sir, like I said, the lawyer walked in and took both of us by surprise.
How can you be so sure of that? The mask hides his face and his identity from us. What makes you think that there isn't some sort of communication device inside, huh?
Instinct, sir.
So I'm supposed to take solace in you having a hunch?
Viskel closed in on Panzer. Just because she had grown accustomed to his shouting did not mean that Panzer had the patience for it. Angry Daddy, her signature hand cannon, still had a round chambered from when she'd leveled it at that smug lawyer's face. She drew the weapon from her hip and leveled it at the director's crotch.
Permission to speak freely, sir.
The director looked down at the barrel of the gun, then met her gaze. The hazel eyes boring into the director's were not asking for permission. They were demanding respect.
Permission granted. Put that fucking thing away.
The device and the sensory deprivation... Oh, I'm sorry. Panzer holstered the weapon and blew the hair out of her eyes.
The device in the sensory deprivation cradle didn't pick up any transmission on any frequency. And even though the mask hid his face, he was about to give himself up when the lawyer walked in. They don't know each other. There's something else at play here.
The director had resumed pacing the hallway and stopped short at one of the windows. He was a tall man with ashen gray hair and, despite his age, maintained an imposing physique. All to be expected from the head of the GSO. The back of his neck and ears took on a bright red hue.
Riggs. Who the fuck called the press?
That's the cue.
Easto's plan was unconventional, but was, by and large, much sounder than his. We make it impossible for them to detain you without looking like assholes. Legally, they have nothing on you, and you can claim spontaneous evolution as the cause for omission of powers, which they have no way to contest. I leaked the debut of a new super to the press. They'll have at least the main entrance covered, and the more enterprising reporters are likely on their way in here already. I bet Richter is about to burst a blood vessel. The contempt that washed over Easto's face made Sorley's skin crawl.
You and Viskel have history?
Easto clapped Sorley on the shoulder, causing him to nearly lurch forward. In a manner of speaking. Just like any hero, there's a trail of bodies and shattered dreams in the wake of his rise to power. Sorley took a deep breath. As much as Easto's statement served to anger him, if there were reporters outside the door, a new super knocking out the director of the GSO would only go so well.
So now what?
Now we walk out the door, right past the director, Panzer, and anyone else who gets between us and the exit. If anyone tries to stop us in between, let me handle the talking. When we do get outside, you're going to answer a couple of questions from the press. Surface-level questions only. Don't give yourself away. After all the fanfare, you fly off and wait for my call. You'll need a hero alias too, so get thinking.
So all I need to do is walk, ignore, talk, and then fly off?
Correct. Sorley pushed his intent into the raven's crest on his chest on a hunch. The smoldering feathers that covered his body smoothed and solidified into a real supersuit. Then they crept up his face, covering it entirely and putting an impressive pair of wings on either side of the domino mask that stretched skyward. It was almost like the decoration of a Viking's helmet. Not a bad look. Let's go. The door opened before either of them could move. Viskel, beat red with anger, stormed toward Easto.
I don't know what the fuck you're playing at, but it ends now, right?
Well, Richter, nice to see you again too. Easto didn't miss a beat and produced a thick folder and offered it to the fuming bureaucrat. And you're right, it does end now. For your records, the suit just filed on behalf of...
Grim Raven.
Viskel slapped the folder out of Isto's hand, sending the papers to the floor in a stretched-out mess.
You don't get to decide.
Sorley stepped forward, getting nose-to-nose with the director.
We're leaving. Step aside.
When I find out who you really are, I'm going to fuck your life up.
You already did.
Sorley shouldered past the director. Isto followed just a pace behind him. A pleasure as always, Richter. Have fun picking up your mess. Panzer watched the two of them walk out. Her eyes searched for Sorley's somewhere under the mask.
Be careful.
Sorley gave a half nod and continued down the hall. Shoulders up, square posture, level steps.
What?
You need to walk like a hero if you're going to play at being one.
So what am I walking like now?
A gorilla. Now straighten up. Just think that you're the most important person in the room and the rest should come naturally.
So, walk like you?
I'm the smartest person in the room, not the most important. Sorley rolled his eyes and adjusted his posture to give off self-righteous importance, shoulders squared, chest out, torso and glutes engaged, and an even stride. It only took a moment for Sorley to notice the difference in how the people throughout the facility reacted to him. Instead of retreating into their offices, most of them stepped out to watch, taking out various portable devices to record his exit. Keep it up, we're almost there. Isto spoke as if he could detect the mounting disgust in Sorley's gut. This was part of the problem. Society idolized supers. Megacorps sponsored them, and the GSO regulated them when it was convenient. It was the natural progression of things. When money and influence didn't put you in the top percentiles of society because superpowers did, the wealthy fell out of favor and were replaced by the supers. Sorley had been the same until the home for the lost. So many families broken, so many children without parents, all because the supers decided that justice and glory came before keeping the people safe. Grim, calm down now. Isto's voice shattered Sorley's focus, and he froze.
What?
Sorley glared back at the lawyer. Isto made a wide, sweeping gesture with his arm, pointing down the hall, where Sorley's footfalls had cracked and broken the tile flooring.
Oh.
Isto gripped Sorley by the bicep and spun him in place, his cold blue eyes meeting the hero's agitated glare. Listen to me, Grim. I get it, okay? Maybe even better than you think. Was I sent here to protect a mutual contact? Yes. Do I know that person because the three of us share similar goals? Yes. So, if you're going to accomplish what you want, and if we are going to help you, you need to get a grip and focus on the next 10 minutes. Isto released Sorley's arm and smoothed out the sleeve of his supersuit. You can go find a gargoyle to perch on and brood later. With a gentle shove, Isto urged Sorley to continue down the hall and cleared his throat loudly to remind the angry young man in the supersuit to maintain his hero posture. He let out a low whistle when the doors of the GSO facility opened to a sea of press. Sorley didn't flinch. He walked right up to the crowd, reaching for him with their microphones, cameras, and other recording devices, and started speaking all at once. Sorley's ears rang at first, but amazingly, the suit compensated and muffled the roar of questions that washed over him.
Okay, that's cool. What else can you do?
Sorley concentrated. He didn't want to entertain any questions about his secret identity or his goals.
What do we call you?
Sorley's eyes snapped open, and the mask cast a blue aura around the reporter who asked the question. The fact that nobody backed away from the reporter told him that no one else could see it. He raised his hands, and the crowd quieted. Then he pointed a finger at the reporter.
Once again, please.
What do we call you?
The reporter was a woman from Channel 9 News. She was smartly dressed, brown-haired, blue-eyed, attractive, and had a commanding presence. To represent one of the top 10 news networks, you had to be.
I am Grim Raven.
Follow-up question. Considering the current political climate, would you say that title is dark?
Sorley could feel Easto's eyes burning into the side of his head, but this was an opportunity he was unlikely to get again.
I think, especially considering the current political climate, that perpetuating the illusion that all supers are forces of light and justice is a cruel joke. Maintain this train of questioning.
An arc of light sprang from the Channel 9 reporter to another from Channel 87, a salt-and-pepper-haired, desperate-looking man toward the back of the crowd.
Can you explain what you mean by that? About that?
Sorley gestured for the crowd to part. When they did, he beckoned the man forward. As the reporter approached, Sorley strode forward to meet him, eliciting a surprised gasp from the crowd. Easto groaned and rolled his eyes.
You want me to tell you what I mean?
The reporter nodded enthusiastically, unused to gaining this level of attention from a super.
What I mean is that a super like me is what society needs to wake up. I'm not here to show mercy. I'm here to save the world one shitbag at a time, no matter what flag they fly.
With that, the crowd roared to life. Accusations masked as questions soared in every direction. With a shifting of intent, Sorley shut down the noise and launched into the sky. The suit amplified the force put out by his jump significantly, carrying him over the lower-level skyscrapers and out of the public eye. 2 jumps later, and he was far enough that he couldn't even see the GSO facility anymore. The suit seemed to balance out the newness of his powers by interpreting his intent when he acted.
That's only going to get me so far, though. I'm still going to need to train.
Being as high above street level as he was offered a great view of the skyline and greater perception than Sorley had ever experienced in his life. He could see almost the entirety of King's Gulf from where he was, and what he could hear was even more impressive. Above the noise of the streets, there was so much more, a feeling of life above the bustle and the smog. Then, there were the screams. They were faint at first, but the more Sorley tried to discern them, the more the suit opened to them.
I said shut up!
Stop! Oh, please!
A woman whimpered. It was a pained sound, struggling to breathe and struggling to stop.
Stop fucking crying!
That's enough of that. Find him.
Within seconds, a window 3 floors down and 5 windows to the right of where he was illuminated in his vision. Sorley was a blur along the ledge. He dug his fingers into the stone of the building's exterior before swinging through the window and showering the asshole in glare. The man's fist connected with Sorley's jaw, turning his head to the side to see the woman he'd been beating crumpled on the floor. He couldn't see much of her, but the hoodie and sweats she was wearing were covered in dirty boot prints. Sorley's jaw and fists clenched. This wasn't an exam. Panzer wasn't here to babysit him. He weaved around to the outside of the next punch and latched onto the man's wrist with his left hand, then brought his right forearm crashing down on the elbow joint, bending the arm in the direction it was not supposed to. Before the man could start screaming in agony, Sorley's hand seized the back and side of his head and yanked it down, straight into his rising knee.
Did I hold back?
Sorley flexed his hands and fingers, watching the man's chest continue to rise and fall as he laid out on the floor for a moment, before turning his attention to the injured woman in the room.
Are you all right?
She peeked out at him from under her arms, still shaking.
I think so.
What's your name?
Audrey?
Can you stand?
Audrey attempted to do just that, but winced and sucked air to bury a scream when she put pressure on her right leg. She leaned on the small kitchen island.
Fuck.
How can I help?
Help me get to the couch. My phone is there. I can call.
The familiar sound of a hard shoe sole scraping against tile and shattered glass reached Sorley's ears. This time it was accompanied by the soft padding of blood.
Back off! Now!
Leap had a pistol leveled at his head in her shaking left hand, and a hole the size of a quarter through her right shoulder. Panzer's handiwork.
Cat? What the hell happened? I could ask you the same thing. Did he do this?
Leap waved the pistol in Sorley's direction.
No, he did that though.
Audrey pointed to the still unconscious scumbag on the floor.
All right. Just who are you, love? Tell me why I shouldn't blow your brains all over the wall.
We've already met.
Sorley willed the layer of supersuit over his face to recede.
Nice to see you again, Leap.
You're the intern from the bank. Had a hard time recognizing you without all the blood on your face.
You know, I get that a lot.
Leap lowered the gun and dropped it on the floor.
This is the part where you beat me to hell and arrest me, right?
Sorley's brow furrowed at the question. Taking Leap in would be worth major credibility within the GSO, but with their protocols, they'd need to isolate her powers and process the arrest through the system before she got medical attention.
No, it isn't. Beating on someone with a hole I could put my thumb through in their shoulder in the apartment of another person with a broken leg doesn't seem very heroic to me.
Well, what are you going to do then?
I'm going to do the smart thing. Call my lawyer.
Bam! Dramatic call my lawyer moment.
Do-do-do-do-do.
Fuck
Dun,
yeah.
dun,
Awesome.
do-do-do-do.
I love how like action culminates
well.
to call my lawyer.
This goes into a CSI crossover.
Very nice, Mr.
Law
Joe
Order.
DeProfio.
Thank you,
I
thank
like
you.
this episode a lot. So we're getting to know Mr. Sorley, grumpy man face.
And his surly suit.
Yeah.
Yes,
as well.
Surly
And the
Surly
powers
suit
that
for the
pursuit.
Grumpies.
Yeah.
I can't wait to cosplay as Sorley.
Yep.
Me too. We're both going to cosplay as Sorley.
What we should do is just kill like 100 crows, take all their feathers, and then just we both take a bath in Elmer's glue, and then we just throw feathers at each other.
I have a feeling that's bad luck. I haven't actually experienced it, but I feel like killing a million crows.
If for no other reason that it's bad luck if you've got to that part of your life where that's happening. Like it doesn't bring you bad luck. It is the bad luck.
I can imagine you both in a Walmart parking lot.
Tell us a little bit more about this episode. What you were thinking while you were writing it, and can you give us a little sneak peek into the next episode?
Ooh, asking for sneak peeks now. I think I can do and do a little bit for you. So this episode was mostly kind of what hit me with it was the difference between doing the right thing and the difference between doing what advances your goals, because sometimes they're not the same, right? So for Sorley, like right there at the end, right, there's a couple of different ways that we're looking at that. Doing the right thing is probably not beating the hell out of some sort of, even if it is domestic violence, like you put a stop to it, you don't just beat somebody up right off the bat. That's not within the law. That's not the legally right thing to do. But the legally right thing to do when Leap showed up would definitely have been to take her in, but it wasn't the right thing to do for Sorley. So he's kind of hitting that weird gray area of the morality of being a superhero, but also like actually giving a crap about how other people feel. And
right, because Leap if I asked for this reminder earlier, but Leap was the same villain, I guess. Is there a special name for villains from the episode
yeah, they're just
0?
villains. Yep.
Villains, yeah. So she's a villain technically, and so that's definitely a complication.
Right. Yeah, she was the exact same one that beat the hell out of him in the first episode and fully intended on stealing a lot of things from that bank, but that didn't happen. So it's also one of the things that I think gets missed commonly in like superhero media is picking up after what has already happened. So we know from episode 0 that Panzer showed up when that whole thing went down and that she shot once, and now we know that she hit what she was shooting at, which is pretty cool. And I think as far as a little sneak peek for the next episode, we may be meeting the supplier again and getting to know a little bit more about how she got to be who she is.
All right. Cool.
Yes.
I kind of want this guy as my lawyer, this Easto guy.
Yep. Yeah, he's fantastic.
He seems very, very competent. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I'm playing him, but like.
No, he's awesome. I don't think that you're alone in that either. Everybody that I've shown this to, like while I'm like working through, I'm going, okay, so I need to turn this into a script today. What are you thinking about it? Everybody is just like, Easto's the best. So.
Easto's great.
Team Easto all the way.
I think that it is a testament to your writing skill that you can make a likable lawyer.
Correct.
Good.
How many can say the same thing?
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on the front of every single one of my books now.
My grandpappy was a lawyer.
Wrote a likable lawyer.
I'm so sorry.
Wrote a
about
likable
that.
lawyer award.
Yeah. Right. Well, Joe, man, thanks so much for this. We got another episode of this coming next month. So what would we got the 13th, then the next one is the 27th of May.
Correct.
Right.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, we'll be here.
Nice.
Thanks again, man. You did a great job. And dude, Ahmed, you did an awesome job with the sound effects. We were having technical difficulties earlier and it wasn't going down right in the rehearsal, but this time it was fucking spot on. So thank you.
Nice.
Yes. All right. Well, on to Space Buns Story Hour. Let's bring in our Space Buns crew. Yeah, can you say that again, Will?
Space Buns.
Yes.
Yes. Aww.
I almost want you to take over as the announcer and just use that accent because of the way you say Space Buns. I can't even do it. Space. Is that it? Space.
It's like a Geordie accent, is it? Space
Buns. I think so.
Yes.
No, I think it was a Northern Irish accent. So it was an Irish line.
Space Buns.
I hope
Buns
that
of space.
we get more of those cute little props.
All right. So, yes, the applause is very appropriate because we have the writer of Space Buns here with us, Miss Emily Labus.
Woo-woo!
We have a composer here who has been doing, I think, let's see. He's a composer, but he's been producing for this particular one. But also he's been performing. We have a new song for episode 2, and it's fucking incredible. And yeah, Aaron is a big part of that. So thank you, Aaron. Mr. Aaron J. Morton. And then also Will, of course, he is Shane. He is Miss Space Bun's best friend in the play. We have a new cast member, Mr. Gary Furlong.
Hi.
Yes, sir. And he's playing the big bad in this series.
He's playing a
You will
naughty,
recognize him.
naughty.
This is how he
Very
sounds.
Naughty,
Like
naughty.
this.
Yeah.
He
I'm
sounds
not
really
very pleasant.
scary. How did you not get scared voicing him if he sounds like that? That sounds really scary.
They're really high pitched. My eyes go weird.
Of course, Justin Thomas James, our Kyle for Space Buns, and he's picked up a
Everybody's
couple more.
favorite.
Yes, he picked up a couple more roles in episode 2. And of course, Space Buns herself, Miss Annie Ellicott.
C'est moi.
That's her. Well, I want to kind of like, should I just step back and let you and Emily run the show right now and start talking about Space Buns, or should I be asking you questions? Does that sound better? Okay,
Ask us
that's the one.
questions.
That's the
Ask us
one. That's the one.
questions, Yeah.
All right. So
Emily,
episode-
you're muted.
We can't hear you.
muted, Emily. No wonder we weren't responding to you. Nope, that's you are still very mute.
We're gonna do this entire segment in charades.
Okay, so yeah, do you know sign?
How's your sign language?
What's this sign? I don't know. We can't hear you.
Semaphore? Do you
No?
have any
Can
flags?
you hear me now?
Hey!
There we go.
All right, Emily. And Annie. More Emily. What were the big challenges of writing? Now we have not just episode 2 finished, but we have episodes 3 through 7 in an outline, ready to be pieced together, ready to be detailed and everything. What was the biggest difficulty of coming up with that outline and deciding where we wanted space buns
Space guns.
Space guns.
Like,
space buns to journey this season, this year?
I think the hardest thing probably was that we just now realizing that Space Guns should have been the show. No, actually, I think, and I can't speak for Annie, I think actually the outlining it was fairly easy. I think once we found these characters' voices, it was pretty easy to figure out where we wanted them to go from there. I think what's actually been harder, but like so fun and so rewarding, has been piecing everything together.
Yeah. What about you, Miss Space Buns?
I already forgot the question.
What was the hardest?
are you in character
part?
right now?
Yes. 24/7, baby.
Always. Every day of my life.
What was the hardest part for you as far as conceptualizing?
Remembering my lines. The hardest. What was the? Sorry. What was the hardest part?
The hardest part of developing the rest of the story between episode 1 and now.
The hardest part of developing the story. Oh, I think really honing in on what the special powers are going to be exactly, and then how to unveil them. And then also I think, working on, I would say, the Space Bun story hour scenes, which are like the superhero scenes, figuring out a really a nice balance between Space Buns not being very good at creating those yet, and also having entertaining scenes to work, just the pacing of the arc of everything, I guess.
Yeah. So that's a lot of stuff. I mean, we have so Emily's like, I think right now Emily's the only writer here. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, I think of all of you as being writers on the show in a sense. I mean, every single one of you has contributed.
Well, yeah, I feel like everyone's kind of based on themselves in a lot of ways. Perhaps not me.
Justin.
Justin more so than anybody else.
Well, Justin got to play his dad, right?
He did.
I did get to play my dad. Yes,
Yeah.
in this latest episode, I am. I get to just be jolly and very dad enthusiastic, which just felt right.
But also, your Kyle is kind of the most interesting.
And I'm
person
also
in the world.
Kyle.
Kyle
And
is
I'm
the
also
most
Kyle.
interesting man in the world, and it's funny because the dad-like bouncer initially in my head, he was pretty much just James Gandolfini, and then you started doing like the wholesome dad, and I was yes.
Yes.
If you still need James Gandolfini, I'm actually pretty good at him.
We should. I mean, eventually, I think we're going to, right? I mean, for those of you
It's
who
only a matter
the
of
first
time.
episode, I feel like you'll feel me on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got James Gandolfini in my back
Only a
pocket.
matter
It's
of
cool.
time.
It's cool. And then Will is just jolly old gay man. you know.
You know how it goes.
You know how
It's
it
always
goes.
very easy to come and do Shane because it's like I just read the script and I'm just like, this is me. Reading as myself. Am I working? Not really. Am I putting a unique inflection in? No, I'm just being me.
Annie and Will hanging out in an apartment in New York together.
I do feel like Shane is like a little bit more type A than you are, Will, in real life. But
That's very fair. That's very fair.
wanted to capture though, like your heart and how caring you are.
Yeah.
And it's funny. Initially, we didn't know initially who Shane was going to be, and then after we wrote it, Annie and I read it, and we're like, this just has to be Will because it already is Will.
Yeah, Shane was supposed to be
Shane was going to be a female roommate, but we were like, man, Will would be
It was
perfect.
a Will roommate.
It's Will.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then Gary, you know, he's basically playing himself, a shifty Irishman, you know, kind of a
That's it right there.
you know, like waiting in
Don't
the
cross me.
Exactly.
And yeah, Aaron's playing himself as well in this one. He's behind the scenes, recording stuff. Aaron,
I have to say, Aaron's giving me a very 2D from Gorillaz vibe today. Like,
Oh yeah.
you showed up with those glasses on. I was like, "You're gonna be singing Up on Melancholy Hill for us?" Like,
such a good
I love
song.
it.
No.
Aaron, can you tell us a little bit about last night?
Yeah.
The music.
No, the music.
Oh,
The music. No,
oh,
no,
the
no, not
music,
that.
sorry.
Not that part. The music.
Well, no, it's the last several days we've been wrapping up production on a particular song for this episode, and it's just like I don't know how much I can contribute because Annie is the one who like directed the production on it, and it's just been a blast because I'm in the studio creating something from my brain, and that's its own discovery process, but just recording and tweaking according to Annie's vision is just like getting closer and closer to something where I don't know exactly what it's going to sound like at the end. So it was a whole different experience, but we recorded everything in the song is live. There are no sampled instruments. This is a jazz combo with a live upright bass player, a live saxophone player, live vocals, and I recorded vibraphone and drums in this room over here. And so it's a completely acoustic production, and I have a blast to work on.
And we got Mark Sutherland
yeah.
playing sax.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
and Jordan, what's Jordan's last name?
Jordan
Annie?
Hale.
Hale.
He's wonderful, isn't he? I know all these wonderful jazz musicians, so it was great.
To be honest,
to
any
utilize
song
them.
that has a vibraphone and a saxophone in it is bound to be a good time.
Oh,
isn't
Will,
it?
you're
Like,
gonna love it. It's so
Mhm.
jazzy.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
yeah, and we're not going to play it for you guys because it's just too good. It's too good.
You're gonna have to
and
find
you're
the
gonna have to wait till you listen to the
episode.
episode. Hey!
So maybe we could play the beginning. The beginning might be enticing. Okay, no.
Just play that one part over and over again.
Until we beg
When
you
I'm
to
not
stop.
looking,
That's
like, sneak it in,
Just sneak it into
and then I can rush in like,
dungeon, AI
not that
dungeon.
entirely too silly. So Emily,
Yeah.
what else can we okay, so episode 2, we are getting deeper into the mystery of exactly what the hell happened with Space Buns near the end. If any of you haven't listened to it, it involves a certain knitting needle going into a certain orifice. Yeah.
You gonna tell us about what happened last
We're
night,
not
Jeff?
talking about fun.
You just
said we
had to
weren't
make
talking
it
about
sound,
last
make it sound as weird as possible.
Yeah, I did. Well, you know, people got to get interested.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So
We're all going through all the orify
Poke their
So-
curiosity.
in our heads.
I feel like all the little detail decisions that you made, Emily, felt very natural. with what's been going on in the story. Like, I'm okay. Spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't listened to the first episode. Just, anyone who hasn't
Close your
listened,
ears now.
plug your nose and like start
Earmuffs.
singing. But meeting Stanley Wheeler, I didn't even think that Stanley Wheeler was going to keep being a part of the show, and then he became like Professor X, kind of, right? So where did that decision come from?
Well, it came from a few different places, I would say. I think one thing that I definitely wanted Ruby to have, and I think, Annie will agree with this, is, some kind of mentor type figure. And actually, another spoiler, we're giving her more than one, which I think will be really cool. And for me, I liked the idea of having it be Stanley Wheeler because, well, how do I put this into words? You'll have to excuse me. I'm a little bit feverish from my second COVID shot. Yay.
Yay.
Hey, congrats.
Very excited. Thank you. Thank you. Very excited. If I start sweating profusely, forgive me. Sorry. So I like the idea of having it be, someone who you might think is the man, because, he's the big producer, actually sort of being the down to earth, a little bit off the beaten path, kind of wacky, weird guy who can help her on this journey. I just thought there was something really special about that. And I've just had so much fun with, seeing his character develop, because honestly, a lot of it, at this point, the character is just the character. And I really do feel like I'm just writing what he wants to say. I know that's cliched, but that's how it feels when I'm writing that character.
Well,
Yeah, I like
awesome.
the you do a good job with authentic voices, with making each character seem like a whole person, unique, from the other characters.
Thank you. And I think too, so like one thing that I'm really excited about, this is like a little bit of a spoiler for episode 3. Well, I guess not a spoiler, but okay, think about many superhero stories, especially when it's an origin story. There's this period where the main character is figuring out how to learn their powers. And a lot of times, you'll have that character like going off on a retreat to a remote location, or often in Eastern Asia, where they're just kind of off doing their own thing away from reality and learning to harness their powers. It happens in a lot of great superhero movies and comics. And my boyfriend and I were actually rewatching Doctor Strange a little while ago, and I was, I love that movie, but I just had this moment of, what if you can't afford to do that, but you're a superhero? Like, right? I mean, people have lives that they can't leave. And so so I'm really excited to honestly write that, the mundanity of, you have to figure out how to harness your powers and use them for good. But you've also got a job, and you've got a roommate, and you've got family issues. And that, that's the part of the story that I'm really excited to tell.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's kick-ass.
I'm imagining now some kind of like distance learning, like open university course for like
Your chair.
And like
Unlock your superpower.
Some lesser superhero, like snake-based trivia man, being like, actually I got my my qualifications from a distance learning institution, but it's still just as good. And we had all exactly the same exams and revision texts as the big guys, and so it's exactly the same nowadays.
Oh, laugh track.
You guys, you audience,
Laugh track.
so with it today. Oh man. All right. Well, Annie.
Yeah.
One more question for you. What is your favorite aspect of the Space Buns show so far?
Gosh, that's a tough question. I think I enjoy sort of like the little producer roles that I get to play. I love I was able to bring in this fantastic comic book artist, Jeremy, I brought him into the fold, and It's sort of like it's been really cool to be able to say, you know, this person's going to be perfect for this, and this person's going to be perfect for this. And also it's just been amazing to have this sort of like seedling of this idea that, you know, we all came up with, like, drunk and high one night, laughing our asses off about, like, to actually watch it like being brought to life. That's fun, you know, to watch the imagination sort of like spill out from the mind into the real world. That is awesome.
Yeah, I
Well
have to
said.
say that's my favorite part too, is I think every time I think of this show, I think of that night, hanging out with you guys, hanging out with Andy. You know, I wish she was here. I can't wait for her to come in later on in the season.
Oh,
to
me
really
neither.
be here.
So excited, and so
It
excited
was
for her
so great
character
for her,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh
And
my God.
her, like, the illustrated depiction of her character is so great.
So good.
Yes. Do we have any of those sketches? Did you send any of those to Ahmed?
We have some of the working sketches for episode 2. And I can actually find the one of Andy's character.
Jeremy Luther is I think that his illustrations are very unique. There's something I don't even know how to describe it. It's something about maybe the delicacy of the character's extremities or something. I don't know. It's a weird.
It's probably a
very
bunch of
kinetic,
things.
feeling
He's
to
so
it.
detailed too. Like,
So
if
much
you could just
detail, yes.
blow up, you know,
I
any little
love
piece
the
of
like extra, like there's so much crammed into there. It really reminds me of
Yeah.
like, did you ever read any of the Discworld books by Terry Pratchett? They have covers that are like chock full of like a million different things happening all at
Yeah.
once, all over the plot. And
It's
this
very
is like the same kind of
color
thing. Like all of
Yeah.
this action is happening, and like it's really
so
busy. It's so
perfect.
clever as well how like the two things kind of like meld into each other. I
Yeah.
love it.
I think it's the
There
texture.
are Easter eggs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's little things. If you guys find a picture of this online and really comb through it, you'll find a lot of cool stuff. But
Oh, you know, Jeff, I want to go back and say something. I forgot. Really, like, one of the things I love the most is being able to compose music, like to like write songs for something specifically. Like, I've never had the assignment of writing a song about something, and I find that that's really helpful to the creative process, and it's caused me to write stuff that I wouldn't have written ever. You know, so that's amazing. Sorry.
Yeah, that is definitely amazing. Like it's thrilling for me that I'm giving you this excuse to write more music, right? I remember
I'm
you
very
were
grateful for
saying a while back that you aren't as prolific as you'd like to be, and this is kind of pushing you towards that.
Yeah.
So I feel like
Here's
I'm doing
Andy's
a good thing
character.
for the whole world.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was Andy's character. She looks very
So freaking awesome.
she looks
Dope.
I love her.
I love her too.
I'm scared of her.
Me too.
Yeah. So yeah, next Thursday, Space Buns episode 2 releases on the Soundbooth Theater platform. And next Thursday, at the same time that Soundbooth Theater Live usually is, we are going to have a public listening party of the first episode.
What day is that?
On YouTube, on Twitch, in the Facebook group. That is next Thursday. The 6th, yes.
The 6th.
So we will be listening to episode 1 with all of you.
Woohoo!
And yep, go ahead. Go ahead, Emily.
I just got so excited. And if you attend the show and you want to hear it without our commentary, which, like, weird, why would you? But if that's your deal, if you come and then you send us your email, we will get you a free copy of the first episode to get you hyped for the second.
Ooh, nice.
Good deal.
Yes.
So
yes.
tell me the time again that on the 6th?
7 o'clock Central.
7 o'clock Central. Cool.
8 o'clock Eastern. Same time as Soundbooth Theater Live. So we're basically just having an extra Soundbooth Theater Live, except we're not actually performing. We're just lazily playing the episode and making fun of each other, and you listeners. We're going to try and make fun of all of you listeners as well. We'll figure out a way. I promise.
We'll mock
Making
you
fun of
somehow.
people.
Yeah, we'll mock you somehow. Don't worry. But yes, thank you guys for coming to the Space Buns little story hour. I hope everybody is excited about this. You're all integral parts of the process, and you've all done a fantastic job of bringing episode 2 together. And the following episodes, which we will be rushing to get done next month. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll have a monthly episode, and you guys will not be disappointed. So far, it's all amazing. So,
Yay!
thank you guys.
Whoa, whoa.
Thank you guys for having us. See you next
All right.
week.
Ciao, ciao.
So, Justin,
Yeah.
do you need to peace out?
Yes, I'm going to be peacing out for the rest of the evening as well.
right.
At the end of
Well,
this segment. So.
That makes me sad. I will cry after this episode, but I'm not.
That's
gonna do it
why.
in front of
That's
all
why
these
I'm peacing
people.
out.
Right.
That was my
I
intention.
mean, he just kind of wants to hurt my feelings right now.
We're harvesting Jeff's tears.
What Justin's like, to be honest, like he's just a really malicious, just like
evil, cruel
he's
person.
incredibly
I feed off of
you know,
tears.
he like he
It's very
plans
insidious.
these things.
Like, you know,
and,
it
like,
seems like he's
Oh,
really nice.
stop. Oh, stop. You guys are making me blush. Have a wonderful night, everybody. Thank you for
Farewell,
watching.
co-host.
I'll see you on the
Bye.
other side. Ciao.
Bye.
Oh.
All right. Well, we have some requests happening now. We got. Oh shit! I fucking hate spiders.
Oh my god, you scared the shit out of me.
Oh shit! I fucking hate spiders. Okay, let's see. What do we got here now? For everyone who's here, and I fucking warned you. Anyone who requested anything, I have a feeling Dustin Tigner requested this one. It's on our troll poll. That means we're gonna troll you, motherfucker. However, I feel like we won't need to because this is called "Oh shit, I fucking hate spiders," and it's like, is it gonna be even funnier if we play it straight? That's
See.
you know, like.
Strange twist. I like
So,
it. I like it.
let's see.
Let's
Let's
do it.
cast this out. All right, we have Dane, male, white, early 30s. Which of us could play that character?
White male,
Gamius.
early 30s.
Gamius, old god. He's an old god. Devron, suit guy, male, black,
Suit
in his 30s. Bexley, female, white, 20s. I think Annie can play that one. Kevin,
Maybe.
male, white, 20s, macho.
Macho.
Okay.
I think Annie can play that too.
She has a very convincing Randy Savage, so
And Arnold. That's my specialty.
This is
Big meathead males
Yeah.
is what I usually get hired for.
Mhm, mhm.
okay. So who? Okay, I'll go ahead and jump in front of the bus. I'll be Devron.
okay.
Good guy. All right. So somebody else. Take a character.
Do you want to be a
I'll be
god
an-
or a white male?
I was gonna say I'll be a god.
Okay. I'll be Dane then.
You'll be Dane. Okay. So we still have Kevin. We have Annie as Bexley. We have Kevin. Maybe
I'll be Kevin.
You'll be Kevin. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure the god isn't going to say much. So,
Cool.
all
I'm
right.
gonna
And
be
then
So
I
I'm gonna
guess
be right
we
back.
can
Take turns narrating.
take turns narrating. Let's find a spot with some dialogue though.
Dialogue.
Okay, how about we start? Of course, he wasn't really staring.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Top of the second page.
I'll start, and then we want to do clockwise.
Yeah. On my screen, that goes Jeff, Annie, me, Will. Is that right?
Yep. I think we all have the same screen because we're broadcasting.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Okay,
Cool.
Well, here goes. Will is gone, but I think he'll be back soon. Of course, he wasn't really staring. It just so happened to be the place he was facing when the lights came on. What did people say in such a situation? I'm sorry, my dear, for invading your privacy. It was like a line from a movie. In medieval times. Definitely not cool. She had brunette hair with highlights and curls cupping a heart-shaped face, a cute button nose, olive-colored skin, and dark brown evil eyes. Evil, murderous eyes that seemed to scream, "Look away, or I'll cut your throat." Yes, that was exactly what they said. It only took a solid 15 seconds for those thoughts to slush through his brain. He offered an awkward, who are we talking about right now?
Think it's Dane?
Dane, yes.
Don't know. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is.
Okay. So you are Dane, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He offered an awkward,
sorry,
which came out sounding far less majestic than the movie line. It was at this time he realized how loose he was hanging, and the random roaming eyes from others, all hugging their own forms in odd manners. He mimicked the reaction, cupping his manhood with both hands. Footsteps scuffed the stone, followed by the tapping of a cane. That's probably you.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess it's Will.
As the withered
old god.
man. As the god.
I think.
Welcome to
Maybe.
Oldendale.
Maybe it's
Is there an
just a
old man?
rando.
I'm sorry.
I don't
It's
know.
a withered old man.
Nope, old god. Old god. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I reckon.
Maybe he's a withered old god.
Welcome to
God man.
Oldendale.
God
A
man, like a
withered
man-child.
old man said.
Oh, don't be embarrassed. It's nothing I haven't seen before. There are robes next to each of you.
He had wiry hair jutting in all directions, covering the sides of his head, avoiding a pale white dome that reflected torchlight, and sliding down the front of him like melted ice cream. Annie, you want to take over narrating?
Oi. A simple hankering for ice cream, and even death wasn't strong enough to curtail it. Death. Was he really dead? Next, this is my Achilles heel.
Dahane!
Next to Dane's circle was a nicely folded robe of thick, scratchy material. Little candles around his circle had, at some point, been lit, casting a modicum of warmth in the frigid room. He pulled the material over his form and immediately felt better. It was a night and day difference of being cold to the point of shivering and suddenly warm and comfortable.
You are Gamius, Will.
I am Gamius, god of games and of this realm.
The old man said and sighed.
Yes, you have died. Yes, this is one of the many heavens. Yes, somehow I got stuck with a bunch of nerds. You know, and bear with me, I'm in great need of a good rant. The games used to be of warriors who risked their lives to fight animals in the arenas or stand upon their chariots to face off with other brave men. Now, games have an all-new meaning. My heaven has radically changed since your kind started showing up. It's quite rude, if you ask me. I mean, this is my realm. This is my realm. And so, before I give you your starting items and send you on your adventure, please sign my petition. I only need 2 million more signatures. Maddeningly, of course, the choice is yours. I cannot revoke your free will. But I can promise that gods make far better friends than foes.
Gamius. Let that last line linger in the silence as he eyeballed each of his petrified audience. Then he smiled and continued walking through the room, only to stop at a chalk circle with a pile of bones and ash. He yelled, voice rocking the room, eyes glowing blue. A stone brick cracked. From the shadows, tendrils of smoke formed into an imp, 2 feet tall, leathery red skin, with impractically tiny bat-like wings.
Okay, we didn't know about this character. Who wants him?
Yes, master, it said in a high-pitched, wobbling voice.
How many times must I tell you the symbol crosses at the arch? At the arch! Look at this.
The god said, grabbing the imp by the neck and shoving its head close to one of the symbols that adorned the circle.
Yes, I seized the problem. I goofed. That I did.
Goofed? So, who was it? Amber? Guildmaster of the Razor Wolves, killed by dislodged air conditioning unit, is going to hell because you goofed?
Gamius stared for a moment, then sighed.
Fine. It's just one less signature for my petition. Grab a broom.
Yes, master.
Gary, want to take over?
Gamius raised his hands in front of himself as if lifting something, and the entire wall on one side of the room opened, stone grinding upward. Sunlight poured through the opening, illuminating a long stretch of land and oceans and mountains and forests, all far below, beneath puffy white clouds.
Please follow me.
Gamius said and stepped outside, tapping his cane as he walked. Pip already had a broom sweeping the remaining bits of amber into a dustpan. Everyone shuffled forward, watching the little imp with a mixture of curiosity. For when had real imps existed? And horror. Gamius took a seat on a stool outside, waved a finger in the air, and a box appeared next to him.
Form a line, if you will.
Dane found himself at the front of that line, nobody eager to take up the 10 feet in front of him to be first. He closed the gap, thinking it wiser to follow instructions that annoy the god. Gamius held out a clipboard with a number 2 pencil attached by a string. Dane took it. The top of the paper was a request to exchange Gamius with another god, one better fit for the position. He peered over the clipboard and Gamius stared back, tapping a long fingernail on the top of his cane. Dane signed his name, Dane with an H, clearly not Dane without an H, like Mundane or Great Dane. No, he wasn't a dog. He paused at his last name. What was it again? He started, though Gamius held up a hand to silence him.
First of all, I realized that for the last couple of lines I've been doing myself as British, when actually the original brief said I should be American. We stripped you of your last name. It makes the transition easier.
It's the troll poll. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Oh, now I'm lost.
I think we should all be British from now on.
Okay.
All right, let's all be British from now on.
It makes the transition easier when you can't think about your past family members, friends, kids, significant others, and the like.
And it was true. Dane couldn't think of his mother or sister. He had a mother and sister, not a father, but they didn't have names or faces or really any emotion attached to them whatsoever. He also had a girlfriend, one that he could still feel an inkling of deep affection for, though just as he had felt it, the sensation evaporated. Wasn't heaven all about being together with those you loved? But even as that thought struck, he didn't quite care. Those no-named, no-faced people were in the distant past in a distant world. So, he started, though Gamius held up a hand to silence him again.
You can come up with your last name at any time, or just sign your first. If you should ever come up with your last name, it will automatically be added to my petition. Go ahead and pass the clipboard down the line.
Dane looked at his name and found it completely satisfying as it was, then passed the board to the next person in line, a tall fellow with blonde hair and a broad chest. The guy tore the clipboard from Dane's hand without so much as a thank you.
Listen up,
Gamius said.
This world is unlike that of your world. There's no sickness, no excrement. Even garbage cleans itself up. But you'll figure this stuff out on your own. For the sake of time, please limit your questions. Now you each get one of these ancient magical relics.
He held up a device. A phone? Dane asked.
What? No, it's not a phone. It's ancient technology that once you bind to it will forever be attached to your soul. Now, would you like the one with an apple on the back or the one with the robot?
Okay. All right. Dustin Tigner, Where the fuck are you? Give me a call. We want to do this book.
We do want to do this.
Gamius needs to be voiced like this, though.
Yes, he does.
Totally. We've just got to send this to the author.
Yeah.
Will, do you want to take over the narration?
Sure. If I can stop giggling, hold on. Dane took the ancient and magical device, then moved to the side so the line could progress. Hello, hola, bonjour, konnichiwa. Yep, it was definitely an iPhone. An iPhone in heaven. He tapped the display and it flashed through a dozen setup screens within a second before displaying the home screen. There were a number of apps: inventory, map, character, party, waypoint, contacts, among others. Once you get your device, Gamius said, go ahead and open the clothing app. Your first set of clothing is free. Pick out something that fits your preference, then return your robes to pick. The little imp materialized from smoke, standing on a stool, holding a few hangers under an arm. He waved a three-fingered hand to make sure everyone understood that he was, in fact, the one and only Pip. Dane tapped the clothing app and it opened, revealing a mirror image of himself standing at the center of a rotating platform. He had dark brown eyes, matching hair, thick with loose curls, or rather thick with an idiotic mind of its own, that ran almost to his shoulders. He was tall, slender, with decent posture, and a tan from all the countless wanderings down hiking trails, finding new places to get lost. While he looked the part of the average everyday guy, he spent far more time exploring the vast worlds of video games and literature than he did outside. Then again, it was what paid the bills as a games journalist. Bills? He wouldn't have to pay bills anymore. The random thought split into others, such as a possible article titled, The Benefits of Death on Budgeting for an Exciting Afterlife. Catchy. Did this world have journalists? Could he actually explore a real fantasy world and write about it? This just might be the best afterlife ever. A dream come true. For what nerd wouldn't want to explore a real Middle-earth or Azeroth? People were already returning their robes while he hadn't even explored his options yet. This was his world now. There'd be time to do all those things and there'd be time to do all those other things. Time to get lost in the mysteries of a new world. The thought was so intoxicating, he almost couldn't focus on the various categories in the app.
All right, real quick, maybe we can skip to It Was Crazy.
Where is It Was Crazy?
It's just a few more
How
paragraphs.
some people could shift?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
It was crazy how some people could shift their emotional state in a fraction of a second, from surprise to disgust to hate to surprise again and somehow linger on confusion. Her eyes roamed his body as if in revenge. You saw me, you twat waffle. I get to see you. Who's this person supposed to be? It probably wasn't the best revenge since he wore a robe, though she stared at his exposed chest nonetheless.
I'm sorry,
She finally said, the cheeks now a little flushed. That was most definitely not the reaction he had expected. He wasn't a bad-looking guy by any means, but he also wasn't the type that got cute girls like this to blush, all without saying a single word. It usually took a bit of work, took a bit of timing. Not to mention the fact that this particular girl had tried to kill him with her deathly stare only minutes ago. She continued, awkwardly searching for the right words, the right way to say them, all the while flicking her brown eyes to his and then back to his chest.
I had no idea. I'm Bexley, by the way.
She reached toward his chest in an overly forward manner, as if unable to control her urges. She tugged on something smooth and silky, something that, now he had looked down, looked particularly like a red, thin-laced bra.
There, that's better.
She said, almost in a motherly tone.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So this is you. This is Dane saying, "Oh shit, brownies."
Oh, shit, brownies.
The phone revealed a green checkmark where his damn thumb had decided to take a little break while he was distracted.
It's not what you think.
It's not.
Bexley. No, I'm not.
You're not.
No.
This seemed to only confirm Bexley's earlier assessment that he was, in fact, a creep. She straightened and lost all prior sense of soft, caring warmth, those murderous brown eyes now glaring holes into his soul. She humphed, turned sharply, and marched away.
I think this might be you, yeah.
That
Yelled the blonde guy.
is what you chose.
He had an obnoxious. He had an obnoxiously loud voice, like a quarterback calling out numbers. It was the sort of voice that summoned everyone's attention, directing it with ease by thrusting a finger in Dane's direction. Everyone stared. Some laughed. Some didn't care. Some gave disapproving glares, while others looked rather high, staring at the world in a wide-eyed daze by the sudden shift from their once physical life to whatever this was. Dane hit the remove button, and the silky soft material faded away, though it was still owned. He sighed.
That's your
Oh, well, that's just great.
Heaven needed an undo button. Better yet, a load from last checkpoint option would be stellar.
All right. I think we've gone far enough. There we got to a lot of fun stuff there. I definitely want to do this book. So
It seems fun.
Someone go get Dustin Tigner and bring him to me.
Dustin?
Good one.
Yes.
Hello.
Bring him.
You're needed. You're wanted.
Yeah. So
Need a
wow.
boy.
This was, I mean, as much as we wanted to troll this, or as that was our assignment, like we didn't have to. It's already
It was-
fucking hilarious.
it was
Hilarious.
Kind of really funny. Yeah, I loved it.
I love it.
So thank you, Dustin, for requesting that. Tomorrow we're going to have a SBTL Classic poll, and in which only authors can request their own stuff, and we're going to take it seriously for the next SBTL. So this one was the troll poll. We'll have another troll poll after next SBTL. Everyone understand the rules there?
Mhm.
I.
Aye.
Good.
Everyone who understands, raise your hand and say twat waffle.
Twat waffle.
Good. All right. Well,
Good
What a
one, girl.
line.
I never want to go another day of my fucking life without saying the two words twat waffle.
Twat waffle.
Waffle.
it's a good one.
In
It's a
that
good
What a
order.
one.
blessing. What a blessing onto this earth.
So
Waffle twat is also fun to say.
Waffle twat.
Waffle
Waffle
our
twat.
twat.
last waffle twat.
What the waffle twat?
Oh man, the
Twat.
image
Waffle
was
twat?
in my head from that. I think twat waffle is less evocative of images
Yeah.
than waffle twat.
I don't know if twat means the same thing it does in the European side of the world than it does over here.
I mean, a twat here is a pussy, right? So like, what
Yes.
what is a twat in Europe?
Fanny.
Did you have that
Twat
thing in
here is
school,
fanny in
though,
Europe.
where everyone was like,
In
twat
England.
isn't swearing, it just means a pregnant goldfish? Anybody
No.
else?
That rings a bell.
That was like every
Is that
edgy
right? A
teenager.
pregnant goldfish is a
Twat,
twat?
twat just means pregnant, and you can't get offended because it's not even swearing. It just means pregnant goldfish. It's pregnant goldfish. That's what
Is
I
that
mean.
really what it means?
It was just
I
a
don't
word we had for
think
dickhead,
so.
I suppose.
But it's just one of those things that, like, when you're 13 and the internet doesn't exist, you're like, a word spread like wildfire. Like, I've spoken to other people up and down the country who are like, yeah, twat, pregnant goldfish, right? I've never looked it up, but I learned it in the playground. Therefore, there must be a reasonable amount of validity to this. Pregnant goldfish. It's a twat.
I have to look it up.
Now
No,
I just want to
I'm-
call people pregnant goldfish.
A twat waffle is just like a swollen waffle in the shape of a goldfish.
Yeah,
I need to
Oh my
Google
God.
this now.
A
yeah,
twat waffle in the shape of a pregnant goldfish.
yeah. So time to start manufacturing those irons.
Oh, so
Um,
I found a casual
It's
UK subreddit. Someone asked a year ago, did anyone else hear that the word twat was the term for a pregnant goldfish? And someone else has written, Wikipedia says the following about the word. It is commonly thought that twat is a noun to describe a pregnant goldfish. However, this definition of the word has never appeared in a respectable dictionary.
I have never heard that in my life.
Isn't that
I'm
weird?
so glad you told me.
A little nugget from my
Maths on
childhood,
Wikipedia.
and now it's yours.
At first, I totally thought you pulled that out of
I
your
love
ass.
that so much.
So after I'd said it, like I had that moment, you know, when like you say something and no one remembers it, and you're like, did I make that up? A dream I had? Did that just fall out of my mouth, like utterly,
man.
like beyond my will? Like,
Oh,
I don't
dude.
know. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Well, that's brilliant. I'm
Not
so
the
glad
only
we learned
one.
that today. This is an educational show as well. I don't know if you guys knew about that, but we like to look up definitions of words, teach you things, teach you the language, you know. It's very
We're
important.
instilling in you the importance of respectable dictionaries, quite honestly.
Yes. Yeah. So next 2 weeks from now, we will be reviewing the definition of cunt waffle. So
no, get ready. It's going to be a rip roaring ride.
You might want to do some research beforehand if you want to catch up. We're going to start kind of like in the advanced stages of the discussion. So
we'll have a list of advanced research papers.
It's not 101, okay?
For you to absorb ahead of the talk.
Right. So our last segment for today. I think we can spend just 10 minutes on it. It's a game. It's a game of Gary's, also known as Gary's Games.
Kind of stolen it from Rich,
it's mine.
Who suggested we play AI Dungeon, and I've created a character in a mystery detective setting whose name is Twat Waffleton.
Yes!
He's a detective living in Chicago, a pistol and a police badge.
Okay.
You enter a forest where you believe the criminal you're searching for fled to. Suddenly you're attacked by an evil beast. You must use your firearms and investigative skills to defeat the beast and escape the forest alive. Do we say, or do we do, or do we have a story point? What do we do next?
Okay, so should we just kind of go in order?
Yeah.
Here, so like you're the host.
Yes.
Let's let Will make the next decision, and then we'll cycle.
Do you want to do something or say something, or do you have a cool story point?
So I feel like do something. I feel like we wanna. He's just walked into the forest, and I wanna look around to get my bearings.
Nice.
You look around to get your bearings. The forest is dark and impressive place, like something out of a fairy tale.
All right, my turn.
Yes.
Okay, I want to look for tracks.
What have I done? You look for tracks. It seems you've stumbled upon the lair of the beast. All manner of footprints around you. There are telltale signs of several goblins. There are the prints of at least 2 trolls.
Annie, it's your turn.
Okay. And I'm not going to say butt plugs.
Why not?
Honestly.
Okay. All right. I pull out my butt plug.
You have to.
I pull my butt plug out of my backpack. Okay.
You pull your butt plug out of your backpack. You have a butt plug from when you tried out a dominatrix experience once. It's not a vibrator, it's a butt plug for your back door.
The AI learned after we put butt plugs into the program. It learned from us.
This is incredible.
Suddenly the butt plug began to vibrate. The goblin shriek with glee. The goblins are off in every direction. They had you relaxes.
Oh my god! They hate butt plugs.
Spell resurrect. I can come back to life.
I love that you gave up on spelling resurrect. You're like, we came back to life.
I can't spell it. I wander the forest in search of food and drink. I find a cave of an angry wolf. I enter the cave. All right, Will. Do say story.
I pull a. I want to, because he's like in search of food and drink. I reckon he's got food and drink in his backpack already that he just forgot about. I pull a Gatorade and some mozzarella sticks from my backpack.
Yeah.
And then write, yum, they're still warm. Also, I have to show you my dog who's just come in and lay down.
Oh.
You pull a Gatorade and some cheesy. I cancel mozzarella quickly. Cheesy from your pocket and say, "I am the last survivor of the human race. The goblins smashed my bones to pieces with axes. I'm a weak and pathetic creature, unable to fend for myself."
Wow.
Okay. I prepare a snare trap for the goblins at the cave entrance.
Why goblin's got a capital? God, I really can't spell. You prepare a snare trap for the goblins at the cave entrance. The snare trap is a simple device made from a noose attached to a wooden loop, designed to be thrown over an enemy and tightened around their neck when pulled on. There you go.
Okay. Yes, I know.
Good. Wow.
I sit back and wait for angry daddy to find me.
You sit back and wait for angry daddy to find you. An hour later, one of the mean old goblins comes in. He looks angry and drunk. You pull on the string as the string, but the loop is. Oh, okay.
Oh.
Oh, God almighty.
The loop is too small.
I don't understand.
I think it's from the snare trap.
Right, but how is it too small to let go of?
I don't know.
No!
Oh no!
Dude, you know what I need to do?
It was definitely a butt plug.
It was definitely a butt plug. That was, oh man. Okay. You already did it. Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
I think that's a good,
wait.
Yeah.
That's
okay. I think that was good, but dude, this is like my favorite game.
It's
like
incredible.
pretty amazing.
game.
I
So
wonder how
what I'll
far
do
it
is
can go.
I will make sure to
Yeah.
start an account next time, and we won't have this interruption. I love how you're sucking on a butt plug right now.
It looks like one, doesn't it? It's a magic trick, but it's
maybe
also
ahead
shaped
of
like a butt plug.
What is
maybe
it?
it kind of.
And the ball is out of the thing, and there's no ball in there, and there's no ball in there, and I put it back on, but there's a ball in there, but there's no ball in there. It's gone.
No. My mind is blown.
And it's also it's a butt plug.
Well, that's
Did you go to Hogwarts? Or...
Space Buns is playing us out.
Hey, it's smooth now.
It is.
Oh.
I think when we talk is when it fucks up. I think it's special cancellation. Anyway, thank you everybody for coming and hanging out with us while we do talk. Played some games, played Gary's games, played with butt plugs, and got murdered by goblins. We did a lot of stuff today, and we even talked about Space Buns, which is coming out next week. Don't forget the party, guys. I will put a Facebook post up tomorrow about the party. And about the
maybe I'll even bring my butt plug bag.
Oh yeah.
All right.
I have a bag
of all sorts of butt plugs. This is going to be a Soundbooth Theater thing now. Thanks.
Bring your butt plugs.
Thanks.
Bring your butt plugs.